Hey everyone, the Super Vader 400 here for Retro Reviews. This is my second animated series review of He-Man, Masters of the Universe, which of course aired from 1985 till 1990 with a total of 65 episodes each for 2 seasons, making 130 episodes. As you saw in the first picture here, I got into the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe franchise in 2002 with the remake. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It sucks it didn't last long, but that's where I got my introduction to He-Man. Then in 2005, when my uncle told me he grew up with He-Man, I learned about this show right here, the 80s show He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I didn't get to see this show for the first time until 2007 when YouTube was becoming really popular, and I enjoyed it. It was just like the 2002 series, except in my opinion, the 2002 series had a bigger budget and had better writing. But this show was awesome too, and it started it all for He-Man. Well, as far as cartoons were concerned, it started it all. The episodes are decently written. The show is always fun and entertaining. Like I say in all of my reviews, one of the most important things I have when I'm watching a cartoon, movie, playing a video game, whatever, is that it's fun, entertaining, and just ridiculously entertaining and interesting. Like I said earlier, the writing for the episodes was good. The characters are awesome. My favorites are He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Teela, Skeletor, Trapjaw, Beastman, and Man-E-Faces and Stratos, who barely appears in this show. Those are my favorite characters in He-Man. Of course, for those of you who once again don't know, He-Man is about a young prince named Adam who lives on a planet called Eternia, and he takes his sword and says, "By the power of Grayskull," and an epic transformation transforms into a muscular warrior named He-Man. Named He-Man. The only people who know his secret are the sorceress, and Man-at-Arms, and a wizard named Orko. And like I said, He-Man, there are other Masters of the Universe characters like Ram-Man, Stratos, and Man-E-Faces, but it mostly revolves around He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, Orko, and the Sorceress, and the bad guys, and they defend Castle Grayskull and Eternia. They defend the secrets of Castle Grayskull from the evil forces of Skeletor. That's Skeletor, Evil-Lyn, Beastman, and Trapjaw, and Merman. There were a lot of other villains introduced in later seasons, but these are the core villains right here, and these were the most popular villains and the core bad guys right here. That's the only thing I don't like about this show right now, is that popular characters like Trapjaw, Merman, and Beastman still maintain a good role, but Evil-Lyn and them in later seasons weren't featured as much. But yeah, this was an awesome show. The animation, despite having limited animation, is awesome. It's actually funny sometimes. That's one of the other things about the show, the character expressions. And sometime in one episode, Teela tackled Adam, and it was just hilarious because of the limited animation technique. They reused a lot of animation. Despite that, this show was still awesome and entertaining. I love the character designs and artwork. The voice acting is awesome. Lou Scheimer did a lot of voices. Lou Scheimer, who was one of the major driving forces behind this show, one of the main creators of this show, did a lot of voice work for this show, but he wasn't credited. But the voice work in this show was awesome. The action sequences are brilliantly choreographed. Once again, He-Man, I think it was He-Man and I think another show called Thundarr the Barbarian that pretty much broke the censorship rules, the pretty much no hitting rule. However, neither one of those heroes could use their sword much. They mostly punched, kicked, and used their sword to block and deflect laser shots like a lightsaber. some of my favorite episodes include episode 1 where He-Man, Teela and Man at Arms fight some Comet Men. Skeletor stole from some wizard. Another episode where Evil Lyn and Teela had to team up to defeat some Arabic looking villain. Another episode where one of the more popular episode is Double Edged Sword, where Prince Adam, where Teela and Prince Adam had to go to a certain planet with some guy with some guy and his kid, with some guy who is bound to a jet wheelchair and some kid, and they had to save them from Trapjaw and Merman. This was Trapjaw's biggest role in the show. He ate some kind of rock like substance. I keep forgetting what it was called, but he ate some kind of rock like substance and became hugely powerful. There's so many awesome episodes. I just really named 2 of my favorites right there, but there were so many awesome episodes. I may do another video naming some of the best episodes of He-Man because it's hard to think about it right now. But this show was awesome. I watch it all the time. And another thing I like about this show is that in order to cover up the violence they've done in this show, they will put a moral, which will usually pertain to the episode you just watched, at the end of the episode. I normally hate it when cartoons put morals in cartoons because it's usually hypocritical compared to what you see on screen. But He-Man was awesome. He-Man is an awesome cartoon, and I think it sucks that none of the relaunch attempts or any of that successful. This was the only show from the He-Man franchise that was actually pretty damn successful and is still popular and still has a major cult following today. But none of the relaunch attempts, which consisted of the movie, the second animated series, and the 2002 animated series, lasted. He recently had another comeback with a comic book. I'll check that out soon. All right, the Super Vader out.